It's episode 5 and Liverpool are somewhat struggling. We're third place in the Premier League, but with batterings in the Champions League, Van Dijk's powers potentially on the decline, and question marks over the future of Mo Salah, we've got a lot to deal with this episode. Now with injuries, his age and general wear and tear starting to take their toll on the big Dutchman, especially with him giving away really soft penalties in pivotal moments in games. For quite a number of episodes I have been looking to try and see if I can find a long-term replacement for the big man, but so far I'm yet to find the right solution. However, with some of the world's top scouts on the prowl, is that about to change? Because your Norwegian scout's back and I've got a job in Liverpool after Wolves, and I think the next big Virgil could be the Portuguese 23-year-old Gonzalo Inacio. He's quick, smart and physical, and just with the right development and play style, he can be one of the absolute best. And on top of that, we've also got suggestions for Murillo from Nottingham Forest, Virgil Tomori from AC Milan, William Pacho from PSG, and Antonio Silva from Benfica. Now once again, it looks like we may have been a little bit slow to the punch with certain players, because William Pacho has been snapped up by PSG, and Antonio Silva has been snapped up by Juventus. However, with Van Dijk playing on the left-hand side of a two-man central defensive partnership, I am loving some of these left-footed suggestions to give us that extra little bit of balance in defence. Gonzalo Inacio can be a great ball-playing defender, he's got that physical traits that I need to play the high line, but Murillo has that all-important Premier League experience, even if there are question marks about whether or not he can make it at the top level due to his 5'11" stature. Virgil Tomori could be a great shout, he's got all the correct attributes, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely desperate for redemption and to show Chelsea why it was the wrong decision to get rid of him. But as we've still got over a month to go until the very start of the January transfer window, let's see if I can find any takers for Joe Gomez in that period before deciding which one of these potential centre-backs I want to join Liverpool Football Club. As for the curious case of Mo Salah, 1 minute he wants to leave the club with immediate effect, the next minute he wants to be able to see out his contract when it expires at the end of the season, before changing his mind and making it very clear to me that he wants to stay. So I put the question to you as to what I should do with Mo Salah, and whilst it was a very, very close call, you've made the decision that you'd like me to keep him at the club. So with that in mind, once again, it's time to meet the star Egyptian for a little bit of spot of lunch, where we're going to thrash out a new contract for him. At this point in time, I only really want to offer him a 1-year contract extension, which it seems like he's pretty happy to accept as well. And with me offering him a nice little salary bump to go along with that extension, he says thank you very much, and we seal the future of the Egyptian, at least for another 18 months. However, with us yet to find a win and only securing 2 points in the Champions League so far this campaign, and the attacking players so far this series really not sparking into life, regardless of whether we've extended Mohamed Salah's contract or not, I still feel like we might need to bolster our attacking options. But before I go any further, it's now time for a shameless plug. After hitting 5,000 subs, I've decided to create a Patreon account, link in my bio in the video description. I'm hoping to bring you lots of different types of content this year, so if you are enjoying the channel and would like the chance to feature more regularly in my videos, any support would be greatly appreciated and go a long way to helping me create better quality content more often. Thanks everyone. For now though, we've got the small task of trying to overcome our Premier League title rivals, as we are about to welcome Manchester City to Anfield. And to add to our woes, with Andy Robertson still out injured, I'm now with Konate and Virgil van Dijk running on fumes. I've got a real patched up back line with Kwanzaa, Gomez and Baird, all partnering Alexander-Arnold. It's Kyle Walker for City, he tries to play it over to the right-hand side to Phil Foden, and Phil Foden's done a really good job of picking that up and skipping past the challenge of Melvin Bard on the edge of the box, looks for Erling Haaland, tries to go past Joe Gomez, he's playing for his Liverpool future. Gundogan for City, into Kevin De Bruyne. You can see I've shifted the camera angle yet again. I've gone back to what I know in co-op to try and see if I can get some sort of control back into this game. But as you can see at the moment, with Manchester City practically camped inside my half here, I have not been able to regain that control whatsoever. Kevin De Bruyne though with a lovely strike. Oh, it's off the bar. My goodness, he was so close to giving Manchester City control there. Inches away from a glorious goal was the Belgian, and City now continue to attack with Kevin De Bruyne into Jeremy Doku, skips past Kwanzaa, skips past by the centre-back in Joe Gomez. Alisson to our rescue, Phil Foden, straight down the pipe. It was an easy one in the end for Alisson to save, and Melvin Bard just about manages to hack it clear, my goodness. Well, City are all over us, and now it's Gundogan from distance. This time Alisson easily able to collect that one, but we're living life on the edge here inside the opening 20 minutes. Volley off for City, pressed though heavily by Mo Salah. He cannot get on the loose ball though. Nathan Ake just about managed to get there before him, and at the moment with Jeremy Doku just skipping past Trent Alexander-Arnold like he's not even there, I really am struggling to get to grips here with FC 25. It feels very different from FC 24, and as of yet I cannot quite get on the mark, and it's evidenced by the fact that Manchester City are pressing me heavily. They've got a corner here, and it's one that they're going to try and take short. They do take short. Kevin De Bruyne on the edge of the box. Szoboszlai comes across there with a good challenge. This is our opportunity to break, but once again Manchester City winning every 15 50-50. It's Gundogan for the Citizens. Doku is having an absolute funfair against Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side so far in this game. Kevin De Bruyne skips past one challenge, looks to skip past two, does skip past two. Erling Haaland, though, is just about blocked off by Adam Wharton. My goodness, it is only a matter of time, I'm sure, before City take the lead. Melvin Bard, though, this is our chance to finally see if we can have one foray into their half as Cody Gakpo lines it up. Just smashes it over the bar. Well, we start the second half here at 0-0, but I think we can count our lucky stars, really, because we haven't deserved for the scorelines to be that way. Manchester City have battered us from pillar to post. They've had the better opportunities. They've had complete control, and we've really struggled to get a foothold into this game. Mo Salah, though, round the corner. Lovely play into Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is a much better start into the second half. Trent into the box he goes, looking for Cody Gakpo. Right on the penalty spot. Nods it well wide, though. Nice pass out to Jeremy Doku on the left-hand side. This time, Trent finally gets the better of the young man here and releases Mo Salah on the right-hand side. Been a much better start to this second half here for Liverpool so far, as Mo Salah tries to fling it in. I was looking for the ball into Jota, but he's straight offside. Gundogan. Oh, that's a lovely ball to Jeremy Doku, who plays it into Erling Haaland now, and Haaland has the pace to get away from Kwanzaa, but in the end plays it back to Kevin De Bruyne, and that's another big let-off there. City not really taking advantage of the chances they've had so far. Nice ball into McAllister. He's hacked down by Kevin De Bruyne. The referee doesn't blow his whistle, and it looks like McAllister, my best midfielder, may have picked up a slight knock. Doku now has it once again on the edge of the box. Kwanzaa, though, with a good challenge. Kevin De Bruyne again, though, into Haaland. What a save once again from Alisson. I'm not taking any risks, though. I'm going to take McAllister off, and I'm also going to try and see if I can switch things up here, bring on some new blood to try and inject something, some sort of life into this game. It's a short corner, though, from City that Mo Salah does a brilliant job of winning back and then skips past one challenge and now tries to see if he can drive forward. I'm waiting for a run forward here. I can try and find Harvey Elliott, who's come on as a sub, but Nathan Ake beats him to the punch. Dominic Szoboszlai tries to pressure Manchester City, but once again, their quality in defence is just too much for my attack. Savinho skips away from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who too seems like he's running on fumes as well. But Luis Diaz now, this game starting to get stretched here with substitutions being made, and Diogo Jota running into the channel, running into the box, takes it on just over the bar. Erling Haaland all up on his own, but wonderful ball out to Phil Foden, who's in acres of space. Connor Bradley hasn't got the pace to keep up with him. Foden, though, skips past Joe Gomez. Alisson again to our rescue. I'll tell you what, with my two best defenders out and it's still being 0-0 with 85 minutes on the clock, I've got to be pretty proud of these players, but I still feel like there is one goal left in either of these two teams, and this is the chance now to see if it can come from Liverpool, as Mo Salah now tries to go past Savinho, can't do it all by himself, looking for a ball in. It wasn't the right run from Jota, and in the end the chance goes begging yet again. We're deep into stoppage time. Erling Haaland turns it around for Foden. Kevin De Bruyne, this is it for Manchester City. If one of these two teams are going to get the goal, it's going to come from them, but Connor Bradley with a really good challenge. I'm just going to absolutely whack that one clear, but before I get the chance, the referee calls for full time. And I tell you what, in the grand scheme of things, with neither team willing to budge, I will take a point at full time. It finishes here at Anfield, 0-0. And you know what? With Alisson having his name at the top of the clean sheet charts, and with Joe Gomez doing a fairly decent job at the heart of my defence in the absence of the likes of Konate and Virgil van Dijk, he's done enough for the time being for me to make the decision to remove him from the transfer list. Because with my front three once again being blunt, I think another elite attacker has got to be my priority come January. Forget about January though, because after smashing Newcastle 4-1 and securing a point away from home against our arch rivals Everton, we have the small matter of yet another Champions League game. And with us languishing in 31st place in the table, it's a game that we absolutely must get 3 points from, but with our opposition Girona being a surprise 5th, it's going to be no small task. And with such a big game upon us and us in desperate need to try and find the back of the net, finally, I've decided to go a little bit wacky with the formation. That's right, I've shifted to a 3-4-1-2. I'm trying to get as many attacking players on the pitch as I possibly can. The only issue is, as you can see, with the likes of Van Dijk and Kwanzaa really fatigued, it's left my back line being in a slightly unfamiliar state. Konate will play, as will Trent Alexander-Arnold, although I do need to shift those two around. The good news, though, is the return of this man, Andy Robertson, from injury, even if he is playing in an unfamiliar position. But we have to give it everything here today and give it everything is what we are certainly going to do. But at the moment, straight away, we're under the cosh here inside the opening 5 minutes as Girona, obviously full of momentum, playing some wonderful football in the Champions League, almost have their first goal of the game inside the opening 5 minutes if it wasn't for Alisson with a wonderful save. And we've gone and given it away again in a really dangerous position here. Through goes even Martin, but McAllister with a tackle, and it's Alisson who saves it, my goodness. But I don't believe it, the referee's called it back, because I think we've gone and given away another penalty in another pivotal game. And would you believe it? Yes, we have. Under 10 minutes into this game, and Girona have a penalty to give themselves the opportunity to go 1-0 up here, but Alisson saves. That man is in absolutely fantastic form. I'll tell you what, there were some whispers at the very beginning of this career mode after a couple of howlers in episode 1 that potentially I might want to consider selling Alisson, but my goodness, I'm so glad that we didn't, because he has absolutely kept us in the game both today and against Manchester City, plus in other games in the career mode so far. The Brazilian has been absolutely fantastic. Now it's up to us and the outfield players to repay his faith. It's Abel Ruiz who's blocked off by Canate, and Andy Robertson on his return back into a Liverpool shirt after a long-term injury gives the ball away. A little bit rusty is the Scotsman, but eventually him and Canate managed to combine together to win the ball back. It's McAllister looking for that looping run of Mo Salah over the right-hand side, but the Egyptian can't get there ahead of the defender. He's tussling though, and he does manage to win the ball back. Jota though looking for a strike partner in Nunez. He finds him. Weak header, it's easy. Andy Robertson into Harvey Elliott, getting his first chance really this season to show what he can do in the Champions League as Luis Diaz plays it into Darwin Nunez. He's shrugged off the ball though by Herrera. Kieran Trippier, the former Newcastle man, is now plying his trade in Girona, and he sweeps down the right hand side and he plays in Sayankov, and now look at the space he's got to run into here. Abel Ruiz with the turn into even Martin with the pass across to Brian Hill, and Alisson couldn't get out quick enough. Well, after singing the praises of the Brazilian, he's gone and now had an absolute howler about 20 minutes later, because I thought Girona were playing it around too neatly inside my penalty area and I thought the chance was gone. But Alisson, what are you doing? You have to get out quick enough. You have to make yourself big. At least dive for the ball. Absolutely shocking. Girona lead 1-0. Short into Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott gives it away. Every single game it feels so far. Liverpool are just getting worse and worse. It's a corner here once again, and Girona are looking for goal number 2. It's flung into the box. Headed away by McAllister, only out as far as Abel Ruiz on the edge of the box here, into Blint. Blint, though, can't be challenged. Into the box he goes, and luckily for me, blazes it high and wide. I feel like my desperation and my switch and tactical setup is just not working. Once again, we're yet to carve out any clear-cut opportunities. I know this is a new game that I've got to get used to, but I've really got to get used to it fast, because at the moment, Liverpool are going nowhere fast. Diogo Jota, though, is the one man who finally perhaps is going somewhere. Into the box he goes, looking for the cutback, just too overcrowded in the penalty area. Mo Salah with the pass into Alexis McAllister. Harvey Elliott looking for some runs here. Instead, he's going to go it alone here. Harvey Elliott to the edge of the box he goes, takes it on, strikes, forces the keeper into his first real save of the game. Sayankov, though, down the left-hand side. Sabotzlai comes across to try and challenge, doesn't win the ball back. Kieran Trippier, nice pass into Abel Ruiz once again. My defenders try to come across the cover, but even Martin now picks it up. Canate is looking to challenge him. Canate does challenge him, and once again, we just about managed to clear our lines. Mo Salah, short into Jota, looking for the ball back, gets the ball back, and the Egyptian now has options in the box if he can find them. Looking for Dominic Szoboszlai, gets the header all wrong. But I feel like once again it's time to ring the changes here in a bid to try and make some sort of impact up front. As you can see, I'm switching Mo Salah to go central to try and see if he can offer us something different. Gakpo will go up front in place of Jota. And with 25 minutes left remaining on the clock here, what can these two men do to try and shake up this scoreline? Nunez into Dominic Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's going to look for the ball through into Cody Gakpo. He's just straight offside. Mo Salah desperately trying to bring the ball forward in a central position. He feels quite comfortable in that central position, it must be said. Gakpo, though, lovely ball through out to Luis Diaz on the right-hand side. Diaz waiting for the cutback, looking for the cutback into McAllister. Blazed against the defenders, and they just about clear it, so it's not going to be a corner. 10 minutes on the clock. We have a throw, and it's McAllister who picks it up into Mo Salah. He's got time to take it on his left, forces the keeper into a save, but yet again, it's not enough for Liverpool. Brian Hill, blocked off by Trent, who's come crashing forward to try and get involved here. Trent to try and play it through into Gakpo. The ball is too heavy, easy for the goalkeeper. It's Mo Salah, though, who picks it up in the centre, and ever since he's gone into the centre, he's been heavily involved. Cody Gakpo's run is blocked off. It falls to Federico Chiesa. He's got an opportunity to put it in the box. He's looking for Nunez. The goalkeeper just just about comes out with a punch. It falls to Mo Salah, who can't get there ahead of Bryan Gil. And once again, Girona can breathe a sigh of relief as the referee blows for full time. Once again, it's defeat in the Champions League, and it looks like our European dreams have come down now to a crashing halt, because the single goal by the former Spurs man Bryan Gil has defeated Liverpool away from home as we lose 1-0 to Girona. I don't know what it is about this game, but I just cannot seem to find the back of the net. Even with my second formation change of the series, the attack was still blunt. Mo Salah moving in from the right hand side into the centre did seem like it added a little bit more to our attack, and so after getting through the next few games, beating Fulham 5-2, beating Spurs 3-2, beating Leicester City 2-0, before getting our fourth win on the bounce, beating West Ham 3-2 away from home. While we sim games, we seem to be getting a bucket load of goals, which has kept us on track in the Premier League in second place. I still don't feel completely satisfied with all my attacking options when I'm playing myself, and so that's why with the January transfer window open, it's time to go with someone who's been heavily suggested to me, someone who's been heavily linked with Liverpool in the past. Anthony Gordon joins from Newcastle for a fee of 41 million. With me going with two up front and Gakpo having more opportunities in that position, it's only left me with Luis Diaz to play on the left hand side, and so that is why with the arrival of the 23-year-old Englishman, the former Evertonian, we finally got another piece to add to our attacking Liverpool puzzle here, and he's a man who's racked up 9 goals in 19 Premier League appearances so far, which is exactly the sort of thing that my attack need right now. If you want to see how he's going to perform in a Liverpool shirt though, you're going to have to wait until the next episode, because that is going to be that for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time.